Oh, sweet, it is live. Look. I was expecting it to do that. All right, everybody, welcome. It is Friday. This is our Friday Live, and we are going to be talking about the Cassini search engine from that eBay uses. So naturally, we're going to talk about titles. We're going to talk about store size. We're going to talk about why it matters, how you do your titles, and why newer sellers have an advantage over people that have huge amounts of listings. So just an FYI, our puppy is still puppyish, so you might hear him chewing stuff, barking, and or just making our lives living hell. So we do love him, though. So feel free to ask any questions along the way. They don't even have to be on topic, honestly. This is a Q&A, but we do have a topic to talk about until you guys want to veer it in whatever direction you want. So give me a second here while I set it up.
Apparently somebody else's puppies.
I know you can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not.
It's not our pup dog.
All right. So the way that most search engines work is you're going to type in something in the search engine, right? This is really, really basic, but it's important to go over the basics here. So you're going to type in something in the search engine here, like button down shirt, right? And what eBay is going to do is it's going to take that search query and it's going to try to match up what it thinks you want to find, right? So you haven't given it very much information, right? You've given it button down shirt. You haven't given it a size. You haven't given it a gender. You haven't given it a color. You're just doing button down search, right? So when you click enter, it's going to give you 431,490 search results, right? It's going to give you everything from auction, buy it now, condition, free, paid shipping, all that jazz, right? So the reason why this is important is because this is how you need to structure your titles, right? You have to get into the mindset of how your customer is going to be searching whatever is in your store. So we do clothing. So we have a specific set on how we do it. So it's always going to be the brand. It's going to be the type of the item, be it jeans, shirt, button down, blah, blah, blah. And then it's going to be gender and then size. So your first 4 to 5 keywords are going to be the most important. Obviously, the first keyword that you have being the most important. So think about how a customer searches. When a customer searches, they don't search like American Eagle, large, pink. I'm trying to think of all the business casual, blah, 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 shirt. They don't stuff all the keywords in and then put shirt at the end. You really have to be really, really concise. So you really want to do brand and whatever the type is first, because that's going to give you the best search results you possibly can have, right? And this is going to be the same with everything, books, DVDs, whatever you're going to be selling. You're going to want to have some kind of format where the first 4 keywords are going to be what you're going to be listing in your title first, right? So in this particular case, if we do something like Gap button down shirt, now it's giving you some more options. Now it's telling you women's or men's. And this is how people are going to search, right? They're going to type in Gap button down shirt, and then they're going to filter by men, women, right? So they're going to type in their first couple keywords, whatever it might be, And then they're going to start using these little buttons. They're going to start interacting with the side as opposed to trying to search exactly what they want. So now that we just added gap to that, it dropped it down to 3,225, right? So this is why it's important, and why as a clothing reseller, the reason why we do bulk and why we do basically mall brands or any kind of thing is because we know how this works, right? So we know that we can get it down to a certain amount of people, right? So you're going to come over here and we're going to go pre-owned, right? So now that just knocked off another like roughly 1,000, right? I forget, it was 335, 34, something like that. So it knocked off at least a couple hundred. And that was just the condition. So we're going to hit buy it now, knocked off literally a couple dozen. And then you're going to come over here and you're going to type in like, say, large, right? Well, now you're down into literally 800. Let's say our shirt is blue. Well, now you're talking. Now you're down to, there are 334 large shirts, large Gap button-down shirts. And I'm going to guess that 50 of those shirts are ours alone. So I like my odds in the search engine for eBay doing like mall brands and wholesale, because we know how this exactly how this works, right? Let's see. Jen says, do you only buy it now or do you also do auctions? In our particular case, we don't do auctions. I think we did it maybe a couple times to experiment with getting rid of inventory that didn't sell. So
and then it didn't move.
It didn't really work. We didn't find a way. Now auctions, I will use auctions if I came across like some really rare vintage t-shirts that could go for thousands of dollars. There's some concert shirts, some Disney shirts that I think that I would potentially, but even then, I think I just like the buy it now option, because I could set the buy it now price for say like $1,000 and let them make an offer. Let them, if we like it, we like it. We don't, we don't. So, but this is really important. So this really works with like DVDs. It works literally with everything. So if you understand how the search engine works, now if you try to type in, let's see here. Let's go back to the beginning. If you type in men's Gap button down plaid shirt, you're going to get some like janky results here. Nobody searches like that. So if you put this in your title like this, you're not going to get many people that are going to be like searching exactly like that. So another thing is like, if here's very specific, like take women's jeans, for instance, right? If you know anything about women's jeans, they have like style names, right? So they'll have like with Old Navy, they'll have one that's called like the Diva, right? And that's essentially like a style. I think it's straight leg. I can't remember exactly what the Diva.
I don't remember.
Poppers. Anyways, if you were to type in like, put in Old Navy, the Diva jeans, or the Diva straight leg, you're going to have 203 people look for that, right? So that's the search result that you're going to get. If that's what your title is going to be, nobody searches like that. So you might get some Old Navy, but it's really looking for Old Navy, the Diva straight leg jeans. That's what it's looking for, right? If you put it in your title. Now, if you do like Old Navy jeans, I don't know if it's going to work like this either. Men's size 8, right? It doesn't matter the size. So you're going to have 3,000 whatever just by doing it that way. And then if you type in, if you have all your filler afterwards, you're still going to get people that are searching for the Diva jeans or whatever. So this is why we do like the brand name, the type, the gender, and the size, because you're going to get a bigger amount of result. You're going to show up in you have a higher chance of showing up in the result for that, right? So when it comes to eBay, the reason why newer people have an advantage over people that have been around for a while is because eBay is kind of democratic on how it gives you it caps your traffic, right? It gives you what's called a traffic profile. Now I talked about this before, and hopefully I can show it a little bit better to you. But basically what happens on eBay, we have 3,500. We just crested 3,500 listings, right? Now, if you go into my store, with that. If you go into my store, you go into listings. Let's see here. What's a good category? Let's do like women's jeans. So we have 1,200 women's jeans, right? Now, that's a pretty significant. I think the last time we checked, we were like 30th in all of eBay for women's jeans. So needless to say, we have the commanding should have the commanding amount of search engine traffic compared to other people because we have so many women's jeans, right? But if you look at our performance tab and our traffic, it's based off of basically how many impressions, both organic and promoted, right? So our organic traffic, when somebody searches, like say women's jeans, size 8, whatever, right? When somebody searches that, chances are we should be in the top 20% or top 20 listing of every single search that has women's jeans in it. We have 1,200 of them. I'm almost sure that we have almost every style. But as you can see here, we only have 1.3 million impressions. Out of all of eBay, out of all the people that are searching for women's jeans, we're only coming up with 1.3 million impressions, right? So, and that's by like the last 38 days, I think is what it comes down to. Yeah. Or last 28 days. So for the last 28 days, we've gotten 1.3 million impressions. But you know that on eBay, you're going to have more than 1.3 million searches on women's jeans. So that's how I know that eBay is capping my traffic compared to what everybody else, right? So when you're new, eBay gives you like a little bit of boost, right? I don't know exactly why they do this, but if you've been on eBay for say like under a year, and like if you have under 100 listings, like you kind of take priority for whatever reason. I don't know why they have it set up that way. I just think that they don't want somebody like me drowning out everybody else, because we have so many listings in a particular category, nobody else would be able to bust in. So we know exactly how that works. So that's why we kind of take advantage of the algorithm. We know that we can put up, say 1,200 listings in women's jeans. And although you guys are going to get some of the search results for that, we're going to get a significant share of that. So for us, if we buy a pair of jeans for $1, we know that we're going to, when somebody's searching for something and it comes down to 300 listings, we're probably going to show up in there, and we have a good chance of making the sale every single time. So I know that that's pretty stuffy stuff to talk about, but it's really important to understand how this stuff works, right? So there's two different types of impressions, right? So when somebody does a search and they type in women's jeans, you have organic impressions, and then you have promoted impressions. Basically what happens with organic impressions is your item shows up because you are the closest match for that search query, and eBay decides that you are that they need to push you based on your traffic profile. So we'll go through the entire day, and all of a sudden it's like there's a light switch that turned on, and we'll get like 5 or 6 offers like within an hour's time, like bam, 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 bam. And then we won't have nothing for like 6 hours, and then again it's like a light turned on, and then all of a sudden we're getting tons of impressions again. And that's because eBay has, if you look at my search, it's pretty even across the board here. They've capped me out at around 200 to 250 impressions. If you look at total impressions on there, it's at 202, 211, even down here with the higher ones, 291, 290. So like we're right in that 200 to 300, and it's pretty just like even right across the board. So if they give us too many impressions, then we're just going to dominate every time somebody searches for women's jeans. So they basically say this person's going to be allowed to have, you know, in our case, around 200,000 impressions. Now, with us having 3,500 listings, we know based on our position in the market share that we should be getting a lot more impressions, but we don't. So that's how I know that there's an actual like traffic profile that eBay assigns us and only allows us so much traffic, right? So the way that we get around that is, of course, is that we do like promoted listings, right? So we would only normally get 1.3. Well, with promoted listings, we're getting like 5.5 million extra views, right? And we promote everything at 7.5. So if you look at here, if you look at our total quantity sold, you look at organic, we sold 2 yesterday strictly through organic, right? But we sold 4 on promoted. And if you go across here and you look, most of the time, promoted listing is going to take the cake. It's going to be the one that, so if anybody's wondering, do promoted listings work and is it worth it? Of course it's worth it. I remember when we first started doing promoted listings, right? We promoted like at 1 or 2% for the longest time. And it really didn't have much of an effect. It wasn't like our promoted impressions were driving so much more in sales, right? So the way that promoted impressions work is when somebody searches for something, say women's jeans, right? I have promoted listing on all my stuff at 7.5. It's going to look, eBay, the search engine, Cassini, is going to look and say, this person searched for women's jeans. It's going to first check the promoted listings and see who has the highest percentage of promoted listing. Whoever has the highest, they're going to win that, right? So if I'm at 7.5 and it's trending at 7, like your listing for that particular thing is trending at 7, I'm at 7.5, I'm going to win the promoted listing. So I'm going to be at the top of the stack, right? So even if it wasn't a direct match, let's say they were looking for American Eagle jeans, and for whatever reason, I had a pair of Old Navy jeans that kind of fit there, they might plug that in because I have the highest search promoted listings for that search query. I'm going to win. Now, I get that this is like some of the most driest, boring stuff, but if you can wrap your head around this, then your business is going to soar. It's going to make all the difference. Nobody's really going to walk you through this. It's even difficult for me to walk you through this because it's so dry. It's very boring. And it's hard to even express how this exactly works, right? But if you can figure this out and you understand what I'm talking about here, some light bulbs are going to start to go off, and you're going to understand how the title affects the search, affects your search profile. So how much traffic eBay is going to give you, your traffic profile. So once you start to understand that, you're going to be able to unlock different items that maybe you didn't think that you were able to sell in your store. Maybe something that was saturated. A lot of people say that you can't sell Tommy Bahama, it's oversaturated. You can't sell American Eagle, it's oversaturated. We sell these items weekly, and we sell a lot of them. Let's see here. Jen, do you opt in for offers on most of your listing? Are you talking about best offers? Yeah, we do best offer on everything, right? So here's going to be the trick on how you need to set up your listing, right? So we'll go over to listings here, and I'm going to show you exactly how we set up our listings so that it's going to take advantage of the search engine and how it works and give us the biggest chance to succeed, right? So let's do by time left, right? So as you can see, all these shirts here, you're going to have the brand, the type of shirt it is, the gender, and the size, right? That's going to give us the best search that we can possibly get, right? Then if you come over here to our price, we actually run what's called a fake sale. Now, we intentionally inflate our prices 30% greater than what we intend on actually selling it for, right? Because we're going to run a sale. We used to run it every single day. Now we do a 48-hour sale every. It's always going to be a sale running, but instead of doing a new sale every 24 hours, we do it every 48 hours. But we inflate our prices up by 30% because we're going to run a 30% off. And it doesn't matter what you do. You could do 25. You can do, it doesn't really matter. You're just going to, like, whatever your base price is. So let's say in eBay here, you're doing a search and you're looking for polos, right? We'll do Ralph. Doing a Ralph Lauren polo, right? And you're gonna, of course, you're gonna do it by sold. You're gonna get your base price, whatever you think that the going price is. You do your research here. You're gonna do bust it down by colors, whatever. Buy it now, pre-owned. All right, so you're gonna get it down to wherever. Shirt. Wherever that you think it needs to be, right? All right, there we go. So you're going to see that it's $14.95, $14.95, $18, $22, $15. For the most part, these are going to fall in the $15 to $20 mark, right? So everything's going to be $15 to $20, right? So when we come over here, we know that item's going to sell for $15 to $20, right? So we're going to start that sale at, say, we're going to start that item at, say, $25. And then we're going to do a 25% off, 35% off, right? And that's going to put us in that ballpark around $18, for instance, right? And then we're going to have best offers turned on. So that allows somebody to put a best offer in. We're pretty much going to take anything over $10 because we got that item for $1 or a couple dollars. So if we sell it for $10 plus shipping, we're going to make 6 to 10 times our money. So we're always going to have a inflated or a fake sale, right? And then we're always going to run promoted listings because that's going to increase our traffic. So that's going to give us the best chance to get as much traffic as we possibly can. So that's pretty much how we're going to have our setup. Now, the listing itself is we're going to do as many item specifics as you possibly can.
It's a notable difference, too. Like, from within days of putting our promoted listings up, we saw an increase in sales. It was not very long.
So another thing that you have to watch out for is what we call keyword stuffing. So if you have like Dickies button down dress shirt, right? So button down and dress they're gonna like cross over, right? Because there's actually two different categories. There's the button down category and the dress shirt category. That's called keyword stuffing. And what's gonna happen is you're going to literally show up for too many searches. And if you show up for too many searches and your item doesn't get bought, your traffic profile gets lessened, right? So it's not going to keep promoting this Dickies shirt to both dress shirt and button-down shirt search queries. Your keyword stuffing. So you need to use the exact keywords that you need to get you the right amount of searches, but you also need to make sure that you have targeted searches, right? So heavy duty and workwear, right? Those are good different keywords. I know that heavy duty is like a thick, and that's going to work well with workwear, right? Those aren't exactly overlapping because you can have heavy duty clothing that's not meant for workwear, right? But you don't want something like, I don't know, workwear, career. So those two keywords are going to... Sorry, the dog is trying to get his bone. So anyways, you're going to have overlapping keywords, and that's going to inflate your search traffic. You're not going to get the sales because you're showing up in too many searches, and that's going to negatively affect you.
So
right?
You're saying your ratio is off because you're seen but not bought.
Exactly. You're being way too liberal with your searches here. So now do you always do 7.5 promoted listings? Well, basically what you want to do is you want to be higher than the suggested. So if you look at the bottom of your listing, it's going to always give you like a suggested. Now we have a promotion that all of our items are on, and it starts at 7.5. So every new listing that we do, we're just going to do 7.5. It doesn't necessarily work for all. We're not above the suggested in all. I think t-shirts is at
I just saw one today. I think it changes from category to category.
It changes category to category.
Sweater and button down is a different what they recommend to be promoted, but I think it also matters by season. They're gonna have like obviously shorts and tank tops are the hot seller right now, but I'm sure in the wintertime it's going to change to sweaters and jeans and such.
Yeah, so it's going to change like almost, I think, daily. There might be small adjustments, or I can't remember exactly how often they change the suggested. But you want to be above that. Even 0.1% is going to be above all the other people that when they did their listing, they just used the suggested because that's what eBay's telling them to do, right? So if you do a hair above suggested, you're going to beat all of those other people. Now at 7.5, I pretty much beat most people except some hardcore people that know how this exactly works. There's a bunch of YouTubers that are out there suggesting that you do 1% or 2% because they say that you're going to be above this promoted hold on right here. They're going to tell you to do like 1 or 2% because you're going to beat out all the people with organic impressions, right? That's not exactly how it works, right? If you do promoted listings and organic traffic are two separate things. So if you do at a 1% promoted, you're not beating the people that did 0%, right? Virtually, if you do 1%, that means that you're beating everybody else that had promoted listings on. You're not in competition with organic traffic. So if you have like 1 or 2% on, you're going to show up if nobody used promoted listings at all. But at this point in the game, a lot of people are using promoted listings because they actually have it like in the listing as suggested. So a lot of people don't even understand what it is, and they just click it and rock out.
People get worried because they're like, oh, I don't want to pay. I know right now we have a $25, pretty much what we sell a lot of things at, and a 7.5%. That's $1.88 goes to eBay. They're like, I don't want to give eBay that. But can you pull up that screen where it shows how much we paid out into promoted listings versus what we've made? Because the ratio is astronomical, really, on how much you make versus what you put into
So what we paid in promoted listings is $278 in the promoted listings.
And how much did we make from promoted listings?
I forget where that one's at.
And mind you, you only pay eBay that $1.88 if your item sells via promoted listings. Now, if it happens to sell organically, eBay does not collect that $1.88, and it will differentiate what you're making organically versus a promoted listing. And
I forget where it's at.
It's in there somewhere, but I mean, it's literally like a quarter of what you put in versus what you get back from it.
Yeah, I remember what you're saying.
I know the ratio is really, I mean, it's so worth the extra money just off of what you make on it alone. I put them on the spot and I can't find it. Sold via promoted listings.
Yeah, this is the a number that is sold. So sold via promoted listings was 244 items. And also best offer was 150. Now these can like overlap,
yeah,
right? Because we had 337 sold in the last 28 days or whatever, right?
If you go to our solds.
What do you mean?
The orders that went out, and it
today.
In general, it just tells you how things went out when you sell them. It says sold via promoted listings.
Oh, yeah, right.
This one sold organically because it wasn't. There's nothing under it. Well, that's what's going out tomorrow.
And you meant this one.
They all say it. I was just kind of pointing that one out, that you can see how it's sold. That tank top is sold with promoted listings.
Promoted listings, organic, promoted listings. Yeah, it's a significant amount that sold under promoted listings.
And those things they probably would have sold eventually, but I want my money back now. I make $8 off of each one of these, so I can go out and get 8 more tank tops, which is, as you know, it keeps on multiplying and multiplying and
Now I'm all like, where is it? I'm never gonna find it ever again.
I'll save it for next time.
I think we do this every single time. We find one thing.
It's not me.
No, you suggested this one this time. All right, that's all I got, guys. If you have any last minute questions, go ahead and feel free to ask them. Just as a point, if you haven't signed up to the YouTube channel, you can do a search for Thrifting with the Joneses right here. And you're either going to be on the Facebook group to check this out anyways, but some people actually do find us through the Facebook page as well. So if you came through on the Facebook page, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we do actually have a Facebook group that you can take advantage of as well. I think that's it, guys.
You're welcome, Jen. I had to get coffee of that stimulating first half.
I hope you guys learned a lot. I know it's really boring. Sorry. But if you master this stuff, you guys, when we unlocked this and we understood this, it really took our business to the next level.
It does.
Because we were doing like one-off, like higher dollar items that are kind of more difficult to find. You're going to spend a lot of time searching for items, and I would rather have guaranteed items that I know we're going to sell than like if you have a bad day thrifting and you can't find anything, you can't list anything.
There's no such thing. There's no bad day in thrifting. Am I right or am I right? You always find something.
You're going to actually go into a fit when you don't sell something here. Let's see, marketing, managing promotions. You will see the promoted sales there. I knew somebody had it.
You know, most of that boring stuff is the key to success, because no one wants to learn because it's so boring.
Yeah, if you know your numbers, you literally,
right.
You are right, gal. the extra RLLL, the girl. Yeah, once you guys figure out how to do your numbers and understand where your traffic's coming from and how to figure all that, your guys are gonna just skyrocket. So
yes.
All right, we're not gonna draw this out anymore. You guys have a wonderful night. We'll see you next.
I am not this short. We are equal height. I just appear this way in the background.
See you guys later.
Bye.